Welcome everyone. I go by the name of Camilio Salamander and my co-host KB the Mark.
Cause I'm a fucking mark for this shit.
You are watching the featured #1 wrestling podcast show on YouTube. With that being said, welcome to the DB podcast. I'd like to give out my condolences to DMX and his family. He was a legend. But we can go ahead and get started on WrestleMania Night 1. So, WrestleMania, the first time we had fans in the crowd was for a year, 30 days, 31 days, a year and 31 days. So, Mother Nature played her part, caused the first ever delay in WrestleMania history. But in the meantime, what it was delays, that was cutting promos. And the promos was actually good. Everybody energy was so excited. It's just everybody, they pulled off like anybody who cut a promo. In the meantime, that was excellent. In my opinion, yeah.
Listen.
Great ass show, man.
Listen, WrestleMania started off rocky. It really did. But if I'm Vinnie Mac going forward, and I'm rewatching WrestleMania Night 1, I have to give it up to my superstars. We went on the fly for 30 minutes. I said, cut promos, do it and do it well. And everyone delivered.
Yes.
Every single promo delivered. Unscripted promos delivered on the biggest stage. If I'm Vince McMahon, I'm easing up on scripted promos. And the ones who knocked it out the park when it was on the line, I'm not writing for you. I'm giving you bullet points. You go out there and say what you need to say, but make sure you hit these 3 points in the promo.
Right.
Phenomenal, man. These promos were phenomenal. And to do it on the fly, I think that's the part that shocks me.
Yeah.
Because we know Vinnie Mac to have his thumb on everything. But
one thing I want to point out is the Drew and the Bobby promo segment. Like after the altercation happened, I like how the lady, she was trying to interview him and he was like, nah, stay on this side because I don't want my back towards that way. I just like that little point. Like it made sense at that point because WWE logic, they were still putting back that way to get attacked. It's like he never seen it. So I like that logic that they like point out a little bit.
Listen, that was one of my favorites. The Kevin Owens one was really good as well.
Yeah.
But that's the little things that WWE has not been doing. But right there, unscripted moment, it makes sense. Yeah, I don't trust him with my back to him, so I'm gonna stand this way so you can still do your interview.
Yeah, see, little things like that matters. Like they don't realize it, but it's just the littlest things. Even in the backstage where they watching the match, like why you watching toward the side? Don't nobody watch TV like that. Like it's the little things that matter. So if you just fix some little things, y'all will give us excellent product.
Listen, I think it's all about the angles for the camera.
I think one thing I didn't like that people for night 1, like the people who wrestle on night 2, why was you in your gear? I ain't like that. I mean, I see Roman Reigns and I think Edge, they was all like, dressed in regular clothes. Roman had a suit on. I think Edge had regular clothes on. But, everybody else, like Kevin Owens, he was like dressed ready to go. Big E was. I was like, why? It's like, you don't wrestle till tomorrow. Like, that's just a little minor thing.
Well, my thing is this. Big E had a segment with the New Day during their entrance.
He should have dressed up as them too.
I mean, well, no. I mean, he's an honorary member, but he's not a member. I respect that they kept him in the old New Day gear. To kind of differentiate that Big E is still his own man. He's the Intercontinental Champion.
That makes sense.
We got to keep his independence. But I gotta ask you a question. Did you see where my tribal chief was?
In the front.
With the McMahons.
Of course.
The tribal chief, the head of the table, would be nowhere behind the front lines.
Of course.
And they want to disrespect my tribal chief. What's wrong with them?
So WrestleMania went ahead and kicked off once Mother Nature decided to cool down. We had the WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Now, you've been watching us. You know how big of a fan I am of Bobby's. So you know I was on the edge of my seat throughout this whole match. But you go back to episode 1 and episode 3, you will see that I called out Bobby's gonna win by the Hurt Lock. Give me my props. I called that out.
I'm gonna give you your props. You called it. You were here the whole time. I want to go on the record that I still wanted Bobby to win. I was just looking at it from the Universal title side of night 2 and how I still believe that's going to correlate. You see, because here's my theory. People think it's wrong. You know, they think like Vinnie Mac already sent you home happy on night 1. But the SmackDown Women's title and the WWE Championship in correlation to the Universal Championship holds no merit. Did they send you home happy in the main event and the WWE Championship? It wasn't the main event, but it's the main title, you know what I'm saying, for the Raw brand. Did they send you home happy there?
Yeah, they sent me home.
I mean, of course you, but I'm saying as the fans, as for what WWE wants you to be, they didn't send you home happy. Drew McIntyre lost and he got put to sleep. So with that correlating to night 2 in the Universal Championship match, I believe they're going to send you home happy with a Daniel Bryan repeat of WrestleMania 30 and in front of fans, no less.
I think you meant Edge.
Hey, bro, I respectfully disagree with what you're saying. But to get back to the Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre match, you called it. I loved the match. Hard hitting, and the first match, raining still slightly. You know, the ring is wet.
Mm-hmm.
They really knocked it out the park. I loved that it was big move, slower pace, big move. So you could really get the storytelling.
Yeah.
Of Drew McIntyre really being this badass. But the Almighty is still the Almighty. And it's literally like two forces that really just counter and cancel each other out. They really had to go deeper than what they normally would. I mean, you saw Drew McIntyre do 3 future shock DDTs in succession?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And still got put to sleep.
And still got put to sleep.
Yes. Exactly. So after that, we had the tag team turmoil match. And, you know, Nia Jackson, Tamina won. Now, with
Natalia.
this,
It was Natalia.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Natalia, Tamina, excuse me. But now, since I said Nia Jackson, they'll go on night 2 and face Nia Jackson's Shayna Baszler. But this match, you know, I wasn't upset with it. Don't think I could say, in my opinion, I think it could have went at least 7 minutes longer. Like they shouldn't do it. There's so many roll-up pins, but they could. That's really it, and that's very like little. But other than that, the whole match was good in my opinion. I really liked it. Like everyone knew their spots. You know, it's been good. The Riott Squad, they look good. They look strong, even though they lost. They look strong. But yeah.
Listen, can I have 5 minutes of your time?
Go ahead.
On this channel, we have the hashtag Give Women's Wrestling a Chance. At this time, you used the tag team turmoil match as a cool-off spot. When you could have put this match on SmackDown and put the SmackDown Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Championship match in this spot and really got a WrestleMania type match. This match should not have been on WrestleMania. You used the women at a cool down spot. It was doomed when Mandy Rose slipped on her way to the ring. Not to mention the multiple botches of missed kicks. I think our girl Billie Kay was in one of them.
Yeah.
This match was awful. And I understand the ending if the Riott Squad won, because ultimately it seemed like that's who they wanted to win. They were pushing the Riott Squad stupid. They took every team to their limit, yet to lose to Natalya and Tamina.
To me, I think the match was good. Like, it do seem like it was a cool off, but just like the story of what they was building up, you know, I knew at the end of the day Natalya and Tamina was gonna win. But I do like how they basically build up two tag teams at the same time, because after WrestleMania Night 2, whoever wins the tag team championship, we know the next in line is the Riott Squad. So I do like how they build up, even though it made sense like they lost, but they went through two matches before, but they still look strong at the end. So that's the only thing that saved them, is the fact that they build up two tags at the same time.
Well, my question to that would be, where have the Riott Squad been? They just came back. I haven't seen them for like months.
True, but they came back and made an impact though. Came back, 1-2 matches.
Did they
came out there?
Did they make an impact, or did they lose to Natalya and Tamina?
They lost, but to me, it seemed like they still look strong. Because it's like, they lost to the fresher group. That was it. I guarantee you they both was in at the same time, the Riott Squad would have pulled off the win.
I don't think you outworking Natalya. People like to shit on Natalya, but she's a worker, man, and you're not outworking her. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she a heart.
Of course.
So, following this was, I'm thinking this was your favorite match. We got Cesaro versus Seth Rollins. Now, like you did say that you think it was gonna be the steal of the show, the match of the night. So I like the match. I was going for Seth and everything, but Cesaro pulled off the win, and he deserved it. For this to be his first singles match at WrestleMania, he deserved it, and he did. He worked his ass off. Like, out of all the wrestlers on the roster, Cesaro is one of the wrestlers that go in. Like, every week he's on the show doing something. He working his ass off, so he do deserve to win. I just hate that it was from Seth Rollins, but if you had to win over somebody, it's best to be Seth Rollins.
Listen, you're not giving this match enough justice. I gotta take you on a journey. The storytelling in this match was so beautiful, and it all started with the buckle bomb. The same buckle bomb that put Finn Balor on the show. The same buckle bomb. I can't remember the other person, but he's put somebody else on the show with the buckle bomb as well. And you notice after Cesaro got the buckle bomb, the arm they start playing the arm angle. He needs the arm for the swing.
Yeah.
He got him in the first one, but that arm was still going. And that's why we were building to the big swing with the 23 revolutions on it. You got to tell the story, and everything about it just flowed so beautifully. You had two of the best athletes in the company in this match, giving you 10 to 15 minutes of technical prowess. Did you see when he tried to do the curve stomp, and almost the same way Randy Orton countered into an RKO, he got countered into a European uppercut?
Yeah, that was sweet.
They're going to make that at every WrestleMania type of reversal. And I can only imagine if you pull it off with somebody who has like a crazy, like maybe a maybe if Kevin Owens could do it into a pop-up powerbomb or even a stunner. Can you imagine that? He goes for the curse stomp. Kevin Owens throws him up into a stunner.
Yeah. What about
that would literally, that'd be the move of WrestleMania. It would be talked about for years to come. You have those type of workers in this match, and they just knocked it out the park, man. I really love this match. I don't know if it's I don't know if it's my match of the night, because the main event knocked it out emotionally for me.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still up in the air. But if it's not the match of the night, then more times than not, one of the superstars will be superstar of the night from that match.
All right, so following that, we got the Raw Tag Team Championship, the New Day versus AJ Styles and Omos. So, like I said, Omos, that was gonna win. So I like the build up to it. They thought Omos was gonna start, and New Day wasn't having that, and they ended up talking AJ in. And though basically the whole thing to this match was don't let the big guy in. If you let Omos in, it's over. You can't take him. And they was building up to that. They built up to that, and Omos just wiped everybody out. And he looked great. Like, to me, for this to be his first match, he looked great. He looked great. He looked great. That's all I gotta say. Like, he looked great. Even his finisher. Like, I like how even he kept Kofi up there for a minute before he dropped him. Like, he made it work. It don't look weak or nothing. Like, to me, that looked better than the Braun Strowman running power slam. Because of the way that he just held him up there for a little bit, then dropped him. Yeah, it just looked like he's 7'3".
He is 7'3".
Just, you probably follow from 8 foot. Just the way he had him up there.
I hated the build to this match. I absolutely hated it. The game night, you don't know him, like, you're not friends like we're friends. Like, no, I wouldn't expect AJ Styles to know Omos like that. You guys have been together for almost a decade, probably a decade.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't expect AJ Styles to know Omos. Like, what are you talking about? But I love the match, man. Is it me, or did it seem like the New Day kind of wrestled heel? In order to build the heat for Omos.
Yeah.
And I like that. It took me back to New Day 2016.
Yes, I like how they was talking stuff. Xavier was like, "See, we are splitting the ring in half." Like, it's like they talking to Omos like he don't know what he's talking about. He don't know what he's doing.
It felt real heel like New Day, and I don't want to call it a heel turn, but that's the New Day I can get behind.
Do you notice they brought back the Unicorn Stampede?
I think that's what they were doing yesterday with the tags. They
brought it back. I ain't seen that in a while.
You're right.
Yeah. Now, do you see what Omos hit his finisher on Kofi? How the camera zoomed in on Kofi's face? That was hilarious. But Kofi, like, you could tell he was out. Like, he was out. He ain't kicking out.
Listen, bro. The spots in this match were phenomenal. From just the New Day working heel to AJ Styles knocking Kofi Kingston off of the apron. And I'm sorry, did he knock him off the apron or did he throw him out the ring? I think he threw him out the ring before he made the tag to Omos. He throws him out the ring, and Xavier Woods is sitting there on the top rope, and then, AJ Styles turns around and he makes the face, and Xavier Woods don't know what to do because you can't do nothing. What you gonna do? Jump off? You gonna already run over there? And when you got the tag to Omos, and what I love is he didn't rush. He built up the suspense. The crowd started standing up because we want to see what this guy can do. Yeah,
I think it would have messed up if he hurry up, try to get in the ring and stuff. Yeah. I did like how because it was like he wasn't worried. Like, I know it's not. It don't matter. It don't matter what you do to me. It won't affect me. That's why it's like, he took his time, got in the ring, stood there. Yeah.
Listen,
he was having fun in there. He was playing with him.
He was. I'm more impressed with AJ Styles somehow being able to hop to his shoulders on a wet rope to hit a phenomenal forearm.
Yeah.
I'm like, where did he come from?
And them ropes, we all know them ropes slippery, even without rain on them.
Real work to the cameramen yesterday. They were on it. These camera angles were 10 out of 10.
Did you know
what you needed to see?
The sound productions was messing up a couple times.
I mean, I'm not gonna blame. That was the lightning. I ain't gonna.
They was showing the promo, the package for the WrestleMania when the show first started, and they forgot to turn off Booker T and all them mics that was doing the kickoff show. So like the first couple minutes of the promo, you heard them talking.
I'm done.
And then with Kevin Owens promo before the match started, that little sound, it was like they was messing up back there a little bit. But throughout the show, they got it together. You know, I think everybody was nervous. You know, it's been over a year since they had fans, so everybody was probably jittery and everything.
I mean, they knocked it out the park. It was a really good show.
Hopefully, this means that the Thunderdome is gone. They probably have at least like some type of fans, couple hundred.
Well, he doesn't want to start touring until the second half of the year, so they'll probably stay in the Thunderdome probably until NFL season starts.
So, do you think the Raw after Mania gonna be with fans?
No,
because that's how they usually do it. You there at WrestleMania, they hold Raw and SmackDown at the same event.
I don't think they sold tickets for the Raw after Mania. I think they just sold it for just WrestleMania night 1 and 2.
So right after that, we got Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman in a steel cage match. Now, I predicted Shane was gonna fall off or something. And he didn't fall off, but he got pushed off, which it still was good. It still was good, Mom. Like, the match was all right. We already know the outcome of it. It could win one or two ways. Either Braun was gonna win or Shane was gonna win, but Braun was like gonna throw him off the top of the cage and he's gonna fall on the table or something like that. It's gonna be something where Braun still looks strong, but Shane wins because of Braun like doing something that's stupid for real. But I do like the one thing I didn't like about it was Shane was escaping the cage and he was taunting Braun. I think he should have just went ahead and dropped down. But I knew once when he taunted, I knew something was gonna happen. Braun went ahead and grabbed him, his arm through the cage, ripped that mug open, pulled him through, took him to the top, threw him off, and pinned him. But before he pinned him, he hit him with the running power slam. Then he pinned him. But the match was average. I mean, it's a Shane McMahon match.
So the throw from Braun Strowman really scared me. I thought Shane was going to drop on his neck, and this was going to be like the end of Shane. Here's what I never understand about steel cage matches in situations where the little guy is the heel and he always has backup. Why not have them just go in the cage with you?
Yeah.
And you just beat the shit out of Braun Strowman. And then you use them to walk out. I mean, that makes sense to me. They can't do nothing. It's no disqualification. So why not just turn it into a handicap match? It makes no sense for Jackson, Riker, and Elias to be on the outside of the cage. It makes no sense. If you're going to book the babyface to look strong, then having defeat all the odds, especially a guy like Braun Strowman in front of fans, that's believable to me. Braun Strowman overcoming the odds to beat Shane McMahon in a steel cage match with Jackson, Riker, and Elias helping out, and they were in the cage the whole time. It would have made Braun Strowman look invincible.
Mm-hmm.
But you booked this silly cage match where Shane pretty much has the match won, but because he taunts, it allows Braun Strowman to get the upper hand. It doesn't make Braun look smart. It makes Shane look stupid. Braun Strowman just looks like the guy who just so happened to get up and catch him, and which in all reality, I've seen steel cage matches in when people have come out of their shirts and fell.
And that still was shame.
Bro, like, this match made no sense. Why time? You already had the match won. Why throw him off the cage? You've already done what you needed to do. I'm sorry. Throw him off the cage. But why go down there to hit him with a running power slam? Why not just leave? Why not just get out? You've already proven it. Nah, we got to make sure Braun looks super strong against Shane McMahon. They acting like this was a top guy, a top heel on the roster. They're making it seem like he did this to Sheamus. I'd have been more impressed if it was Sheamus. I wouldn't have expected the level of stupidity from Sheamus, because Sheamus ain't gonna sit there in time when he's outside of the steel cage about to win. He's gonna drop to the floor. It looked real stoner Matt Riddle-ish. Yeah, let me stop. You know, it's like I just robbed this bank and I got away, but I'm gonna come back and admire my work while the cop's still there. It makes no sense. It makes no sense for Shane to get caught. It makes no sense for Braun to go down there and hit a running power slam. You already threw him off the cage.
You should have just pinned him there. It was
yeah. I mean, if you didn't want to climb out the cage, go down and pin him. Or better yet, prove that you're even more of a badass. Go get down and walk out the door. Not only did I throw you off the cage, I took my time and climbed down from the cage and I walked out the door. How badass was your baby face? Let me ask you this. We'll just use the Matt Riddle and Sheamus match as an example. If Matt Riddle did that and the US title was on the line, if Matt Riddle did that to Sheamus and he climbed down and walked out the door, you would say Matt Riddle got to be the best badass in WWE, right?
Yeah.
To throw him from the cage, climb down the cage, back into the ring, and walk out the door, and just admire my work the whole time. That's on some tribal chief shit. That's some shit Roman would do.
Yeah, but one thing about the cage matches in WWE, heels is typically known to escape. You really don't see baby faces escaping from the cage. They always finish the match inside.
Listen,
that's why he went ahead and pinned them. They never, I don't know why, but with WWE, they all their baby faces in the steel cage match finish the match either with a pin or submission. Heels typically escape.
But see, it doesn't have to be like that. I can see Can you see Drew McIntyre doing that?
Yeah, I can see him walking
throwing somebody off the cage.
Yeah.
And then walking back down the cage and walking out the door to win the match. I can see Drew McIntyre doing that, and he's the top babyface in the company. It makes him look badass.
Yeah, it's only because his character is like badass and he don't basically don't care right now. But if he was like a babyface, like a Daniel Bryan, nah, he finishing that in the ring.
I mean, I get it. I just think, we can break away from the norm of baby faces winning in that way. If escape is part of the rules, then why not? But if that's the case, nope, you're right. Because when Braun Strowman threw KO off, KO was the heel, so technically he escaped the cage.
Yeah. All right, so we got the match that I'm gonna apologize to Bad Bunny if I wasn't into the build at all and I wasn't looking forward to this match, but he proved me wrong. But we got the Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus the Miz Morrison match. Now, all the entrants in the at WrestleMania Night 1, to me, Bad Bunny had the best one. He's not even a wrestler; he had the best entrance. But he hit Morrison with the Canadian Destroyer outside the ring. Like, where that came from? But hey, I knew that was going to go over, but I didn't expect all this. I didn't expect for Bad Bunny to get so much offense in for him to be in the ring as long as he was. I thought it was gonna be really Damian Priest taking it over. He's gonna come in for a few, they come back out like they normally do with celebrities. But nah, Bad Bunny, this was really his match. Bad Bunny really wrestled this whole match for real. This match was good. It changed my whole. It changed it so much. I would like to see Bad Bunny wrestle one more match. That's how much it changed.
I want to take some time out of here and apologize to Bad Bunny myself. I did say that I didn't want to see you in the ring, but you blew me away. You blew me away, Bad Bunny, and I want to offer my sincerest apologies. This match was awesome. This match was crazy. First off, Bad Bunny took most of the brunt. The hot tag was for Damian Priest, which makes sense. I think about it in baseball where you have the cleanup. You know, he was the cleanup guy in the match. Yeah. Still, Bad Bunny got his moment, and he got the pin. Then wait, did Damian Priest get the pin or did Bad Bunny?
Damian Priest.
Okay, so Damian Priest got the pin, but it was really about Bad Bunny and the tornado DDT. Everything was just phenomenal. His selling, I talk about pace a lot, and this pace felt real slow, and it benefited Bad Bunny. It just shows you. He said he really likes this, and he said he was in a performance center training.
Yeah,
and it showed. You know how many celebrities that come in who, you know, they just didn't care, or they didn't want to adopt a different type of style, you know, other than what they were doing in their profession.
Right.
Like, Bad Bunny came in and accepted it. He said he wanted to do this. That's what he said. And he came out and did his thing. And the Canadian Destroyer, where did that come from?
Right.
He's built different. He's built different.
I could see if his music career, like let's say like he decided like to leave that alone, his next perfection would be professional wrestling.
Listen, if I'm Vinnie Mac, I'll put him on a part-time deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, I understand. Yeah, bro, I understand, bro. You make more money outside than you'll ever make here. But I'm still gonna give you a part-timers deal. So if I want to bring you back and you're free, we can make it happen. This match was phenomenal, and I want to give a shout out to The Miz and John Morrison for being consummate professionals and allowing Damian Priest and Bad Bunny to put, you know what I'm saying, to allow themselves to get put over by them.
Yeah. Like,
not too many people would do that. You seen like the Big Show with Floyd Mayweather. This is just another example of those consummate professionals who will do the job you ask, no questions. The Miz was WWE champion for a week. To having I believe one of his best matches at WrestleMania in a losing effort to a celebrity. That's a consummate professional. He's there to do the job. You got to get him a run with that mid-card title. Mm-hmm. He deserves it. He's done what you wanted him to do. You got to get him.
I wouldn't really say mid-card. I would actually put, like, right now what they're doing with Bobby Lashley, I would actually say, like, later on, get him back another run, like a proper run with the belt.
I don't want to see the Miz nowhere near the main event.
Why not? Not one more time? Because like when he did it, like back in 2013, that was actually good. Like his run was actually good.
I say this as a Miz fan. I did not like that run. I don't want him anywhere near the main event unless the main event has to involve that big card title that he has.
What?
Nope.
I mean, he's good as a mid card, but I would just like to see him one more time at the main event, like just with the title, just one more run. Like that week, that wasn't long enough. Like it could be like 2 months, but just one more time, just see him up there. Because like out of all the people on the roster that you can say is like a great heel, Miz, he's one of them.
I mean, the Miz is indeed a great heel, but I don't need to see The Miz with the WWE title. He hasn't done enough. It will take, if you're going to put that belt on Miz, he's got to be booked for like a year and a half straight to look, and I don't even want to say dominant. He's got to look decent for a year and a half before I even believe. And he needs another, like The Miz and the Miztourage, I can see in the main event picture. That was a good group. You know, that was a great group. I can see them in the main event because he elevated everybody in the group. But just The Miz by itself or The Miz with John Morrison, they're a great mid-card act comedy. I know what I'm gonna get when I get with The Miz and John Morrison. It's goofy antics, and it's funny. But do I really want to see them in the main event?
All right. So now we got the night one main event. We got the SmackDown Women's Championship. We got Sasha Banks versus Bianca Belair. Now, you know me, I always root for the Royal Rumble winner. I always root for those. And she pulled it off. She came in, she looked strong, but they both look good. They both look strong, they both look good. And there was a point in the match where I thought it could have went either way. I was really rooting for Bianca to pull it off, and she did. There's a couple spots I like to point out. I do like to point out how where Sasha went for that dive and Bianca caught her, then like threw her back in the ring, and the part where she hit Sasha with her hair, and then you heard that it was like a whip. You heard that mug. And then even after the match when she won it, and they was focused on Sasha outside the ring, you could see that mug like welting up and everything. So man, this match was A+. This match was a 10 out of 10 to me. It was good storytelling. Like even like one thing I would have to say, the build up, it was decent, but what they did before Mania started, with Bianca cutting that promo, why couldn't it be like that the whole time? Even on SmackDown when she did her promo, why couldn't it be like that? The whole build up, why couldn't it be like that? Why y'all had to give us what y'all gave us? But other than that, I mean, we all got the perfect payout at the end. You know, the rookie overcame the veteran, so that's what it is.
Hey man, this match was stupid crazy. It took me on an emotional roller coaster. Highs for Sasha, lows for Sasha, highs for Bianca, lows for Bianca. Oh man, I was grinning ear to ear. At the beginning of this rivalry, I didn't want Bianca Belair to even sniff the SmackDown Women's title. I wanted Sasha Banks to run through her. I just thought Bianca was too playful. And you can't be playful and be the top woman or the top champion on your show. There needs to be some serious about you. That's what I appreciate about Drew McIntyre. Yeah, he started with the 3-2-1, but you saw the switch was flipped when he beat Brock and became the WWE champion.
Yeah,
it was seriousness. He was about his business. When they first started working towards the WrestleMania match, I was thinking like, nah, she's too playful. She doesn't need to be there. It seems like she's happy to be there. And that's not the attitude I want for my champion. But when she started cutting promos, specifically where she was in the all black, I think she cut it before she went against, I don't think it was Carmella. I want to say it was, I cannot remember who she went against. Natalya. It was Natalya. She cut that promo, and what she did, and what she said, put the kids up, because I don't think they don't want to see what's going to happen. And I questioned it, but I saw something switch. Even the way she worked in the ring switch. It was serious. It was, I'm about my business. I might be the rookie to you, but I'm this rookie that can catch you on an off night. But here's the thing. You didn't catch her on an off night. We being fair and square. You outworked the boss at WrestleMania. The boss who's never won a match at WrestleMania. Bianca Belair outworked her. This match was phenomenal. From the military press spot alone is what had me. But the final 20 seconds, reversal, KOD.
Mm-hmm. It's
Let's
like
go home.
It's like she knew once she hit it, like she knew it was gonna be a wrap. So she was trying her best not to let her hit the KOD at all.
Listen, phenomenal in-ring storytelling was this match. This match is a 10 out of 10, man. Yeah. These women were worthy of the main event of night one. You can put that match up against not most of the men's matches, and it will hold a candle there.
I think that match for it to be a main event, a women's main event, that match was actually better than the triple threat that we got.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the emotion of seeing Bianca Belair didn't even believe it. You have Michael Cole saying he thought Sasha kicked out. And what I love the most is that, you know how some of them, they'll just lay there? I like that Sasha rolled out the room.
Yeah, she let her
Yeah, this is your moment. This is all you. What I would have loved is for Sasha to hand over that belt as a sign of respect, saying, I thought you were the rookie, but you outclassed me on WrestleMania. And she puts that belt around her. And it makes it look like Bianca Belair is the standard going forward. But I've also heard rumors that a certain redhead might be making her way to Friday Night SmackDown to be with the Friday Night Messiah.
Yeah, I heard that.
So that title reign might not be as long as we want it to be.
I do like how when she won, her family damn near jumped over the barricade and shit.
Did you see the video of Montez Ford, how he slid in the ring and just celebrated with her? Black love, man. Black love.
Yeah. So, but one thing I do want to say, I do think this is special, especially on night 2. If Rhea Ripley can pull off the upset, I think this is going to be a refresher for the women's standpoint. Even hopefully, even with the tag team belts, if Tamina and Natalya can win, actually they go ahead and take this as a restart, as a refresh. We got freshly new champions going into the new season, and we can go ahead and start booking these women the right way. You know, go ahead. But if you had to give your match of the night, who would you give it to?
I gotta hear you go. I need to hear you. Who are you giving it to?
My match of the night is the Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre match.
Of course.
That match stole the show for me. That match was good. You know, it had me on the edge of my seat. And for that to be the first match of the night, yeah, they already had me pumped. But when Drew went to sleep, I was out here yelling. I was like, yeah, let's go. I was pumped. I was turned. I was everything. I was happy. You see, I called you. I was happy. I was happy. This my match of the night.
Man, I'm so torn. But you know what? I'm gonna give it to Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. I told you that was gonna be one of the matches that stole the show, and it was gonna be one of those matches that was talked about. And there are still people talking about how great that Seth Rollins and Cesaro match was at WrestleMania. Seth didn't have anything to lose by losing, and you just made Cesaro look like a badass. If Roman Reigns retains, that's what I want to see next. He's automatically put himself there as the next in line to me to challenge Roman Reigns if he retains. If it's anybody else, I don't know, because I don't want to see Edge versus Cesaro. I don't think that's going to work well. But if it's Roman Reigns, I want Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. I want that match. That's going to be good.
So, wrestler of the night, who would you give it to?
Wrestler of the night for me, it's not even a question. It's going to the BEST of WWE. She's the strongest, the fastest, the quickest, the smartest, the toughest, and the new SmackDown Women's Champion, Miss Bianca Belair. Congratulations, you have turned me into a Bianca Belair fan. You knocked it out the park. You have been phenomenal over the last month and a half. To me, Miss Bianca Belair, everything you touch turns to gold. And obviously, you got the gold around your waist to prove it.
Mine's going to the almighty, Bobby Lashley. Man, just to me, he overcame all odds. You know, to me, the favor was in for Drew McIntyre to win. He overcame them. You know, no matter what Drew dished out, he overcame it. You know, he wasn't gonna let him hit the Claymore on him at all. No matter if it was from a MVP distraction or not, he wasn't gonna let him hit it. And then it's just the build up. If you know he locked in the hurt lock, he know that was a wrap. He wasn't getting out. He was able to lock that in no matter what Drew did, no matter what he rolled it up or nothing, he still had it locked in. Drew, yeah. Bobby, he the man right now. And I'm hoping for a lengthy title run. I'm hoping.
Well, here's my thing. I don't know if you noticed, but they did the Kimura a lot. In the back of my mind, I kept thinking Brock Lesnar was going to show up. You think maybe he shows up on the Raw after Mania?
He might. They might be setting that up now, a Brock versus Bobby then. Because there's going to be if they do, there's going to be a new Brock because it's a Brock without Paul Heyman. So can it go? Is he going to really be that strong of a person by himself or not? You know? So then but if we can, I also see this being a feud of the year because we will actually have, you know, it kind of be like vice versa. You know, Bobby's in the position that, you know, Brock will be in. You know, he got the manager, the mouthpiece, and then he got the title too. And then, you know, Brock coming out with nobody and he cut promos by himself. But, you know, both of them, that's going to be a hard hitting match. And it's going to be real suplexes, real power bombs, real punches, real kicks. Just expect that. But if they do it, if they do,
I would love. Well, that makes me wonder though, if they are foreshadowing that Brock is coming back, and Roman loses tonight, what if he doesn't come back to TV? What if you see Paul Heyman with Brock, and you don't see Roman? That would mean Roman's off TV. That's another way you can pull that off, because I do want to see the promo battles between MVP and Paul Heyman.
It could be legendary, but that way. But I mean, I could see a certain type of partnership coming between Brock and Roman. Like, you know, basically, you know, they got the respect for each other. They both whooped each other ass so many times. So it's like, you know, it's like a respect thing. You know, I use Paul on Mondays, you get him on Fridays, but it's like a respect thing.
Yeah, you say that until they're both champions going into Survivor Series.
Yeah, then they're gonna be building towards, you know, the breakup of Paul Heyman or whatever. Paul got to pick a side. That could be a good storyline too. Like, you telling 3 storylines at once. You telling like, if Roman wins or however it goes, you telling 3 storylines at once. You telling the storyline between Paul and Brock and Bobby Lashley, and then you tell a storyline between Paul and Roman, and another storyline between Brock and Roman. So you're telling 4 storylines at once. So, and then at the end of the day, if it pays off with them facing each other and Paul have to choose a side, I mean, that could be a potential like a year-long build that people may not even see turning it into a feud until like the last minute. But it could happen. I don't know. Only time will tell.
I mean, I like it. I like the idea. I like the I like the intertwining storylines. But they did that storyline with CM Punk and Brock, in which he chose Brock.
But think about it, like when have Paul Heyman actually been a manager of two dominant forces? CM Punk was good, but he wasn't like a dominant force like how Roman is. Like,
I mean,
the manager of Roman and Brock Lesnar.
I mean, it makes sense until they're both champions going into Survivor Series, unless you don't book Brock to win that belt until after Survivor Series. That way you don't run into that problem.
Yeah.
But you know, if I'm Brock, I'm winning it at a big four.
But even if you do, you go to a Survivor Series, the way they be booking it, it's gonna be Roman. If Roman champion, it's gonna be Roman versus Brock anyway. So then that's when you can start the build up to them at WrestleMania of Paul having to choose a side.
You think he would choose the tribal chief?
Only time will tell me if I don't know, that would be a shock to see that he actually chose Roman over Brock, because then it's like this whole time like he's seen that the potential in Roman, plus Roman younger and everything, so you can see that, you know, Roman will take his career to a certain level that Brock can. You know, Brock got a couple more years or whatever before he finally called quits.
He better not disrespect my tribal chief like that.
Only time will tell. I mean, we'll see. Night 2 is today, but tonight, so we'll see.
Hold on. What two matches are you looking forward to the most?
On night 2?
On night 2.
I'm looking forward to the main event, Roman Reigns. And I will say I kind of want to see that Big E match. That Big E and Apollo Crews. I kind of want to see that. Yeah.
I want to see the main event, of course. But I think what's going to steal the show as match of the night is that Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn.
It depends if Logan Paul get involved.
I think he'll take a stunner. That's the most of it. And it probably won't happen until after the match. I don't think they want to sour what could be another Seth Rollins and Cesaro type of match with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They make magic when they're in the ring together. Yeah. Why not give them just 15 minutes and say, just go out there. We'll run your greatest hits match, your greatest hits for like 15 minutes. And the crowd will go nuts because it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Right.
And then the main event, I'm really interested to see if my theory pays off. Because if it pays off, then it'll seem like I know WWE from the inside and out, and that's not a good thing.
Only time will tell. We got less than 6 hours.
Yeah, hey man, WrestleMania Night 1, 10 out of 10.
Yes, 10.
Even with the women's turmoil match, the promos at the beginning being unscripted and everyone being a knockout the park promo, to the Bobby Lashley, to the main event, the match card flowed. It made sense. Even the horrific Braun Strowman and Shane McMahon match, it had its place. WWE, they're starting to show that in big moments, they can hit a home run. And I haven't been this high on a WWE show especially a WWE pay-per-view, in a long time. This WrestleMania Night 1 was a 10 out of 10 for me, man. I love this show. This show was awesome.
Yeah, it was. If anything, I think this just showed what type of wrestlers Vinnie Mac got on his hands. And he should go ahead and start giving them the push that they deserve and giving them everything they deserve for the most part.
Listen, a lot of people earned some contract extensions.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the show during the rain delay, they earned some extensions. They earned some money on that next contract deal.
They deserve to get their medical bills paid.
Boy, and their hotels paid for.
Yeah, from WWE.
Yeah, like, hey, these guys, these women, these men, these wrestlers knocked it out the park yesterday. I want to say thank you, WWE, for putting on a fantastic WrestleMania Night 1. And the fans made it different. It was packed in there.
Yes.
Like, it looked really good. It looked really good.
The fans changed the whole environment.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they did. They made every match seem important and everything. Everybody was just excited.
I mean, you didn't really hear any boos, even on the really bad stuff. Like, you didn't hear boos. I think they were just happy to be there live and just being able to watch it. Presentation wise, knocked it out the park.
Hopefully, we're gonna see if Night 2 can do it and bring us another 10 out of a 10 show.
Hey man, I think it can only get better. It can only get better. It's right. Night 2. Your bigger matches are on Night 2. Though I am scared of The Fiend versus Randy Orton. That's going to be the true stretch of WWE, because the cage match was bad, but the show was still great, even with the cage match included. I don't feel like it took anything away from the show.
Right.
It flowed well. It just wasn't a good match. But I think that Randy Orton and Fiend match could destroy the entire card. It has to be placed strategically, but I don't know where you place it, because you can't start off with it.
You don't think it's gonna be a cinematic match?
No, it's a live match. I haven't heard anything about it being cinematic. They didn't say it was cinematic. I think that's in the ring.
Yeah, I wonder how they're gonna play it off. I wonder what the Fiend gonna look like though. Like, is he gonna change up his stuff, or if he gonna look like?
He coming out extra fried.
You looking like how to advertise him?
Yeah, I think he gonna come out looking extra crispy.
Hey, that should update. This would be the perfect time to redo his mask like a certain way.
It'd be a perfect time to have Bo Dallas come out and play the original Fiend and fuck with Randy Orton's mind.
They should do something with Bo, like have him a part of his group or something. I mean, they are brothers and stuff. I don't know why they ain't do it yet. Like, I think with the Wyatt family, Bo should have been like an honorary member. Like, he should have, like, especially with the Miz Taraz broke up. Like, I was thinking that's what they was gonna lean towards, but they never did it. I don't know why.
See,
actually, growing his beard out, that's what I thought that was leaning towards.
Yeah, see how high you were on the Bad Bunny entrance is how high I'm gonna be on this Fiend entrance if they somehow knock it out the park.
Yeah, they should. It should, because he still had the entrance of the whole event, the Fiend. It's just a matter of time how they're gonna do it, because when they did give us him on TV, he was just popping up. So this will be a first full-fledged entrance. So we gonna see.
I say Alexa Bliss running down there in a coffin.
Or they're gonna be, or would they like reverse it? Do like some type of reverse, set him on fire. He came back and it looked like how he normally do, like type stuff. I don't know.
Listen, I don't know how they pull this type of entrance. See, because the normal Fiend you could pull off, but this extra crispy Fiend, maybe he doesn't have the entrance. Maybe maybe he's already there.
It could be
like low key like a jobber's entrance, but it's not a jobber's entrance because he was already there.
Yeah, only time will tell. Under 6 hours.
6 hours, 6 hours, and I can't wait. I can't wait, man. Night one had me stoked, man.
Yeah. Let's hope. Well, all right, guys, that's a wrap. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the D&B podcast. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until then, we'll see you on the next one.